Ons Jabeur post-match interview. Tennis in a Minute. I'm your host, Good Energy. A lot of good topics discussed here. Now, in case you are not familiar with the channel, I'm Good Energy. I give you the rundown on tennis coverage daily. And a lot of times, look, I just hit record and I just talk. To be honest with you, there's no script. It's just me talking about tennis based on watching a lot of matches, playing tennis, and just giving my perspective, but a lot of it's based around facts. Now, listen, ladies and gentlemen, Ons Jabeur in this post-match interview was asked, how does she feel about last year's success at Wimbledon? Of course, she lost, but just getting to the final, how did or could that help her this year? Well, she said last year, compared to this year, the draw was a lot weaker. Not exactly in those words, but she did say this year's draw was a lot tougher. And she feels that just having the experience last year definitely helped her get to this point. And of course, she said the U.S. Open making two finals, she said it's probably failing twice is what's going to get her to have success on the third time. Now, we all know the Russian and Belarus players were not in the draw last year. So the reality here is a much tougher draw this year was expected, of course, because we have a lot of the top stars, especially in the top 30 last year, were not even in the draw. We had a lot more qualifiers that would have not made the tournament competing in such a very historic tournament, Wimbledon. Unbelievable. She talked about the injuries and struggles she had this year in particular. She's been sidelined 3 separate occasions with injuries this year. Very tough. She said the injuries taught her just how to be patient, right? In life, a lot of times you want things to come so fast and we want them to happen immediately. But the reality here is you never really get things in life until you're ready for them. If you get anything prematurely, a lot of times you won't appreciate it. And for the most part, I think most people will say you may even lose it and you might not get it back until you appreciate it. And this goes with anything. It could be a job. It could be a relationship. It could be an opportunity. So she said being patient is something that she learned, just focusing on what she can control. And we talk a lot about, especially me, I've talked about topics like this with my employees and people I've hired over the years. Control what you can control in life. A lot of the most important things, you can't control. You can't control the sex you were born. Well, I mean, nowadays that's a whole different discussion. So cancel that. Take that off the record. You can't control when you were born, the time you were born, what family you were born into, your ethnic background. You can't control those things. Those are things you can't control. So in life, controlling what you can control, especially in sport and on a tennis court, kind of makes you just step up and do what you can do better, right? And she talked about just mentally, sometimes if you're mentally tough, that will get you through matches where you're physically not at your best. And I've said this time and time again, I think a lot of the elite athletes, I think they retire not because physically they can't perform anymore. When you're a professional, you have averages that you will get no matter what the circumstances. You'll average a certain number of, aces or double faults or, winners or wins or losses. A lot of times I think professional athletes retire because mentally they just don't have it anymore. And it's even tougher with social media. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone wants to put a magnifying glass on losses and wins, that it really gets to these players sometimes. But she talked about just working on herself and accepting the circumstances. And I think that shows a lot of maturity on her end. And she said just being sidelined and just coupled with the fact of making 2 Grand Slam final appearances, even though she lost, being patient to heal and get ready, having that experience is giving her a lot more confidence. She also talked about previously just working on just being mentally strong. And she talked about doing a lot of meditation. She's working on her footwork. She's working with Ronaldo. She's working with, what's the other big soccer star? Beckham. Now, she's from Africa, right? She plays soccer. Her footwork's amazing. She's working on improving her footwork. So that's scary. We already saw the improvement of power going toe-to-toe with Sabalenka. She talked about working on her chakras and balancing her energy, eating right. Ons is amazing, guys. She was asked what was the difference maker after being down in the second set and nearly going down 5-3. That probably would have been the match. She said, whoa, it started in the tiebreak when I was up 4-2. That's right. She said just trying to focus and break her serve. She said controlling what she can control and just really getting her serve back. She said it's very difficult to return against Sabalenka, and that was the main thing she wanted to do, just get the serve back. Now, I posted earlier what she really did. In the first set, she focused on attacking the backhand of Sabalenka. In the second set, she won nearly 60% of her points off of Sabalenka's forehand. That was really what the difference is. Tennis in a minute. Ons Jabeur, Marketa Vondrousova in the final. That's going to be popcorn worthy. Who do you got? Comment below. I'll be posting the survey for you guys to pick a winner. Tennis in a minute. I will see you soon. Amazing interview. I think she's a classy woman, huge philanthropist. I try to do a lot of things for the community as well, giving back, because it's all about helping people. That's what we're here for. Tennis in a minute. I'll see you guys soon.